in the form of bread. So lay it on me, Ninja. What do you think?
I got to take bread on this, but I've been wrong before.
Well, certainly remains to be seen whether you will be wrong this time. I think Bread will have it too. They've just had a heck of a year. They have gotten results all year long. They've made the jump to the RLCS. This would just be the perfect way for them to close out the year with another $1,000 for first place. But here we go. The first semifinal of the day, best of 5, game number 1. We are going to kick this off with Bread on blue, AXB, Sathu, and Sipical on Honduras, Zolhe, Reddles, and Roll Diz. We're going to start things off. Sathu pushing that one forward. Sipical driving back through that side wall. AXB going to get this one off of the backboard with Zolhe waiting in the, to play that off into the corner. Comes down right in front of the net, but the save from Reddles. Sathu will get the follow-up shot. And we have first blood on the board for Bread.
Roldis, I thought he did actually go for that. Luckily, Reddles had the backup, but he had to react so quick. He couldn't put it exactly where he wanted it to. Right into the bumper of Sathu, and Sathu, of course, with all the skill that he has, able to position that ball where it needs to go. They're on the board first.
Yep, they certainly are, but Honduras already making a strong case for themselves, trying to tie that up immediately. AXB with a very fast play, fakes out one, tries to get the dunk past Zolhe, can't quite make it happen. Ball goes back into the corner. Sathu trying to get that one off of the backboard. A fantastic clear coming out from Honduras all across the field. And bounces off of the side wall. And Roldis going up for that one, off of the ceiling. AXB going to intercept that infield pass onto Sathu, played a little too far forward. And Reddles will clear that past the center line. As Bread are forced into defense. Sipical looking for the dribble there, gets it past Reddles, and Sathu with a little bit of extra push past the midfield line, but Zolhe contesting that one. And keeping it on the blue half for the time being. Reddles beating Sipical to that. The pass onto Roldis is good. Placed right underneath the crossbar into the net. And there's the equalizer.
Zolhe thought about challenging right there, and Sipical and Reddles were duking it out there for the mid-boost. Reddles gets up first, recognizing the play, knowing Roldis was at the center, and Roldis just lasered that one. It looked like Sathu thought that was out, and I'll be honest, I think we both thought that one was out as well, but sure enough, it goes in.
I'll say this much. He really did not have any leeway at all on that shot. It hit the woodwork and then bounced straight in. Pass onto AXB. You're going to look to pass that back onto Sipical. Pass intercepted, though, and the clear goes back to the blue half of the field. Zolhe clutching with Sathu on the corner. Infield pass from Roldis, but no one there to pick it up. There's the quick switch around play coming in from Bread, and the own goal from Reddles. Unfortunate positioning there. Gets the second one on the board for Bread.
Honestly, Roldis, that was not a good time to be centering the ball. Should probably have tried to get some control on that, send it to the corner, and allow Reddles to come up and get the rotation going. That said, I mean, Reddles has got to be kicking himself after that one because, I mean, we've all been there, but that was brutal.
Yeah, certainly was. That ball was nowhere close to going in. It was all Reddles. Came off the backboard, could have been cleared. Well, shake yourself off and get back into the game. Yep. There's still 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Honduras have already tied it up once. Perfect pass onto Zolhe, but AXB is going to intercept that. Roldez in the corner. As Reddles gets bumped away. The only passing station. Ready shot coming in from Sipical. And yet again, a quick turnaround for Bread.
Bread has always been good at these counterattacks. They leave a rotation. They leave a man up, kind of on the way up. The moments they see that someone is going to have any contact really with the ball, so they can start a pass play going. And that right there was perfectly executed. Bread bringing the lead up to 2.
Yep. Counterplay, the strong suit of Bread right now in this game. Reddles misses the opportunity to follow up on that shot. Clear comes out. AXB the pass onto Sipical. Doesn't go for the shot though. The ball is cleared past the midfield line yet again. This is Roldis. Gets his ball dunked away from him. Reddles to put that off of the ceiling. Zolhe trying to contest that one. Another good pass onto Sathu from Sipical. Can't quite fight the angle on the goal, though. And Reddles will clear that back. Zolhe, good pickup on the pass. Sipical will get the save. Roldis not quite in possession for the immediate follow-up. As a clear is going to come out from Bread. Blocked in the midfield. But Snathi will get the second opportunity, try to follow it up all the way himself. Comes off of the ceiling. Zolhe on the goal line. Typical. Trying to get that past him, and Snathi can't get it past Brettles either. Hot stuff right in front of that orange net. Brett trying everything, but so far Honduras making sure they don't fall behind even further.
It almost seems like Honduras has to kind of warm up to the team they're playing against. The defense has gone up quite a bit. They're starting to exercise some midfield control here as the game goes on.
Typical, not a good backboard clear. We're going to see a follow-up shot coming in here from Honduras. But now Reddles in the midfield loses ball control. Zolhe trying to clear that off of the backboard. Good block from Rolda's predictive pre-jump right there. As AXB looking to set that one up onto Sipical. And again, Roldas is ready and up in the air. We are nearing the final minute of play, and there's still 2 goals to catch up to for Honduras. The ball is high up in the midfield. Reddles puts that against the crossbar follow-up shot. That one is blocked by AXB. Final minute is underway, and Sipical will get that one off of the backboard. But it's going to get cleared into the corner by Roldas, Reddles, and Zolhe stumbling over each other in the midfield. Clear off to the corner. Infield pass coming in from Roldas, but no one home to actually pick up on it. Promising attempts from Honduras, but so far the positioning has just been ever so slightly off. That is a fantastic shot from the midfield, but it hits the goalpost. Doesn't actually cross the net. Huge chance. Zolhe cannot put that one on target either. Had a bad angle on the ball. 20 seconds remaining. And I think this first game will go to Bread.
And Bread have been just challenging everything on the defense, on offense, whatever. Doesn't matter. They had a man on the ball the whole way through. And as the time winds down, you know, Honduras do need to make some adjustments. They were showing some midfield control, at least some signs of that, but they immediately started giving it up as HB takes a shot and the ball finally dies out. And Honduras, I mean, that was a good game, at least in the last 3 minutes. It did seem to kind of take them a little bit to just get going compared to Bread's speed. And Bread always been so fast. Even with other rosters, they've just been so fast. Always.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, there's definitely some warming up to do for Honduras here. Looks like they have, well, already packed more of a punch during the later half of that game. But still was not quite enough to catch up to the lead that Bread was able to build up. Not a solid, commanding lead, though. It's just 2 goals, and Honduras had plenty of opportunities. They were still outshot by Bread here. But the potential is definitely there. Now they really just need to tap into that in order to take it in game 2 here. I definitely agree with you. Bread did dictate the pace of the game. They were on the ball the entire way through. It's up to Honduras to take the steering wheel here.
And Honduras, you know, maybe not those crazy direct passes that they've been trying. And if they do, they need to get it up in the air and get some speed on it at the same time. Bread can read a play very well. And they're more than happy to leave a man back and set up plays like that right there. AXB up for a shot.
Oh, great pass. AXB trying to outplay Reddles there. The flick is read out, though, and cleared back outfield. 30 seconds are underway. Back pass puts Zolhe into perfect shooting position. We see Sathu getting in between that for the time being. Rolls up the backboard ram. AXB looking for another quick switch around. As Sathu in the midfield. Pass on to Sipical. Immediately converted into a shot, and Roldas will get the save here. There's the counter opportunity for Reddles, but he does get bumped mid-shot. Another shot coming in right here. The save from Sathu coming in from the side. And Honduras starting this game off hot and heavy as they are all up in Bread's faces.
They were all up on that side, too. A good kill there by Roldas to throw it into the corner, but that leaves the net open. And Honduras have had a lot of control in this matchup, or in this particular game so far. Big dunk there by AXB, but they're having a hard time moving the ball across the midfield now.
Yep, and Honduras has only been getting stronger on that defense as the game went on, and they're starting game 2 off absolutely beautifully. The pass onto AXB, not a good angle to immediately convert onto a shot, but the pass comes straight back onto Sathu, and he will be able to draw first blood here for Bread.
And the 1-2-3 here is brilliant. AXB did not have a shot. He was at the wrong angle, but he saw Sipical over there, just sends it out that way, and then gets out of the play. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Most of the time you would expect a shot off of that, but no, it actually froze Honduras in the way that play worked out.
Very well done indeed. After all that pressure from Honduras, it is still Bread who scored the first goal in this game. Honduras trying to follow that up. Southie will get the save off into the corner here. The infield pass played too far forward. Switch around opportunity. Sipical plays it high and Southie follows it up. Sipical looking for that infield pass through the backboard. AXB not quite at the angle for a shot yet again. This time there was no passing station though, as AXB does get blown up and Zolhe will have an open net here. Sipical is taken out of the equation by Reynolds. 2 quick demolitions, no one there to defend the net.
Reynolds clearly a fan of Michael Bay in this play. Santi found himself behind the play, so he couldn't do much about it, and Zolhe just kept ball control while Reynolds ran around with the hammer.
Certainly did, and use that hammer. He did as well. 2 minutes in, we are tied. Honduras trying to force the issue here. Zolhe versus Sipical. He's going up for it, getting a block, looking for Roldes. Tries to set the ball up for Reynolds, but Sathiu gets in the way of that one. They're nearing halftime. Honduras still not letting up on that pressure despite the early lead from Brett. I think Honduras has been the commanding team in game 2, at least so far. Now they just need to convert that into a couple of goals as well.
I think they recognize that, you know, Brett like to play the counterattack. They like to play that speedy boy setup. Whereas Honduras, they've kind of turtled up just a touch until it's time to convert that into some offense. Now they have to defend themselves well. Oh no, AXB gets credit.
Certainly does. That was a really close call right there. AXB beautifully snatching that ball off, comes off of the ceiling in just the right angle, and Roldes, wrong time, wrong place. Second own goal from Honduras. Well, I think the first one was a little more clear-cut. Roldes this time just an unfortunate soul.
And you know, Roldes was fully expecting Reynolds to get a touch on the ball off the sidewall, and it just didn't happen. So he had to stop and try to correct himself, and he couldn't do it in time.
So Brett with another lead, but Roldes looking for a breakaway goal here. AXB will be able to clear that off towards that ceiling. Midfield control still on the side of Honduras here, but Brett has been picking their fights, and they've been picking them well. Goes past the midfield line yet again. Sipical has the shot up. Sathiu in the midfield. Reynolds winning out that 50-50. There's the opportunity for Zolhe onto the ground and into the net. Yet another tie between Brett and Honduras.
Reynolds here just kind of throwing it at the net. Sipical had to panic at it. AXB was nowhere near ready for the clear, and Zolhe to clean up. A pretty standard procedure play there for Honduras. Just make it happen.
Make it happen they did. Minute and a half left on the clock. Honduras slowly starting to lose some of that steam despite getting the follow-up equalizer right here. All comes down, dangerous spot. Sipical takes out Zolhe. He was definitely not in the spot that he wanted him to be in. Comes off of the ceiling. AXB, Sathiu was taken out as a passing station for AXB here. Tries to follow the ball up himself. Sipical winning out that race to the ball in the midfield. 1 minute remaining on the clock, and we are all tied up. Honduras definitely had the better start into the game, but we are seeing a very even affair here. Missed clear. How did that happen? Reynolds takes the lead for Honduras.
Hang on. Okay, Reynolds up for this.
Did
he faked him? That was a straight fake.
I'm not sure what happened there. Was it a fake?
Yeah,
looked
that
like
was
a
a straight
bump
fake.
to
He was
me.
flying for it and then flew off. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Wow, highly confusing situation there. I thought that he got the mid-air bump, but apparently it was a fake. Nonetheless, great goal for Honduras. And they're going to get another one here as well as Roldes gets the dunk, and that's a 2-goal lead for Honduras now.
Reynolds just kind of staying with the ball. AXB trying to slow this down, and Roldes said, no way, man. I'm coming at this full steam ahead and in. I think Honduras have found their stride.
Certainly have. And it does finally pay off for them. I've been saying how they looked like the stronger team from the very first minute onwards. Red looking to fight back in the mid-game stages, but right now it's all Honduras, and Reynolds, he is out for blood. 2 demolitions in quick succession. Blowing things up like we're in the wasteland. And Reynolds with a shot off of the side wall. 10 seconds remaining, and Brett are going to have some catching up to do. There's the double tap opportunity for Sipical, and he'll get that one.
I love the pass here. Sathu playing off of Zolhe Sipkal exactly where he needed to be. It wasn't a great angle, but he was able to correct himself in the air,
That was great.
warping the car up and around on top of the ball to knock it down and in. Nice little touchdown. 5 seconds left. This could happen.
This could happen. Will we see a buzzer beater here? Sathu does have the angle. Reynolds looking for the clear. Roldis gets it. Here's another shot, though. The pass
play.
to AXP. It's blocked right in front of the net by Honduras, who will get away with his win. And I'd say this one's deserved.
Yeah, they fought hard for that one, indeed. Oh, man.
Great game. Great game. Red sorted outclassing Honduras in the first game, but Honduras coming back swinging and with a vengeance in game number 2. Now we have a solid ball game on our hands.
Demos. The demos really came in key for him. And the fact that they were able to read a couple of those plays a lot better than the first game. And then they attacked. They attacked with authority. They didn't back down at all. Now they find themselves tied up here in this best of 5.
Well, it's game 3, and we have one game apiece on the series board here. Pass on to Roldis. Angle a little too wide for the follow-up. Sathu trying to get that past Roldis in the midfield. And AXB looking to push his advantage. Gets it onto the orange half. Wide, great clear from Reynolds. Look at all the ground won on that shot. Sathu looking to undo all of that work. Gets the pinch on the ground. And into the net. Bread are yet again the ones who take the lead.
Yeah, Sathu just reading this play here realizes there's 2 backs. Zolhe was on the way, but he had to avoid Reynolds. And Reynolds had no idea what Sathu was going to do on that. Let's go RHL style.
Very well done. First blood yet again for Bread, and Honduras looking to respond as quickly as possible. They've been able to do that more than once in the series so far. Yeah, he's been on the side wall, biding his time. Comes off of the side wall yet again. Roldis looking for the angle on the goal there. Sipical gets the clear, follows it up here as well, trying to gain as much ground as possible, but Zolhe is just going to serve that one straight back. And Bread under pressure now from Honduras. They need a way to keep this attack on, though. Zolhe out of boost, but the big miss in the air allows him to get a shot off on target regardless. Roldis trying to get that one off of the crossbar, and Reynolds clutching for the ball into the corner. Honduras trying to set up a siege here, but looking sort of uncoordinated. Shot coming in from Sipical. AXB with a follow-up. Can't find the net either. Huge opportunity for Bread here. They should have punished Honduras there. Sipical versus Roldis. Roldis gets the clear past the midfield line. Honduras, I'm not sure what happened there on the siege. It kind of looked uncoordinated. They didn't really know where to be, where and at what time.
Well, Honduras was also getting in the way of a lot of that play. And just being there sometimes forces Bread into thinking a lot faster than they might be able to react. And it was a good idea. They had the pass play in mind. It just got broken up nicely.
Over the backboard, past the midfield line. Sathu versus Reynolds gets the dunk pass, but not at a good angle. As Honduras has low boost across the board. Bread are doing a good job at starving them of every canister that they can. And as a result, Honduras are struggling to break out of their own half. Roldis finally picks up some boost, goes up high. And Sathu to clear that off into his own corner, straight onto Sipical. Great passing play to outplay the defensive stations in the midfield, placed there by Honduras. Good mid-air dunk from Sathu to keep it on orange. AXB looking for the pass, straight onto Sathu. Misses the follow-up, though, had his back to the ball. So a tough shot to nail indeed. We are at halftime right now. Here's an opportunity for Honduras. Sathu clears that one out before it gets dangerous at all. The game has slowed down somewhat with Bread so far, keeping on hold over the proceedings. There's the save from Sathu. AXB looking for the clear. Good touch. Roldis won't be able to keep that on blue. And Sipical with the pass. Oh, Zolhe! Good attempt. But ultimately, the ball still finds the net.
And you can see Sathu actually made a mistake. Couldn't quite find that angle. That was going to go wide, but Zolhe panic flipping into that, just trying to knock it the other way, and it wasn't quite enough. I mean, you couldn't get much closer than that on the save, but now they have a chance. Zolhe's up.
Good clear by Sipical. preventing this kickoff goal. It's a 2-goal lead for Bread right now. AXB won't get the shot there. Sapthew trying to follow that one up. Reynolds low on boost, trying to do the best he can in clearing that ball away. It comes off of the backboard yet again on the orange half of the field. Honduras really struggling to break out, and AXB just wrapping around the ball. Reynolds trying to snatch that off of him and gets it into the corner. And Reynolds doing a good job at trying to keep control of the ball in his own half, as Bread is, well, pretty much taking the wheel right now.
And they're kind of taking control of the game all the way through. As typical was the first shot. Nice save there by Reynolds. And really, it's just all pressure. They have the 2-goal lead. They're not necessarily going for anything spectacular, although that would have been an insane shot if it went in.
It certainly would have been. But look at Bread. They dictate where the ball goes. And when it does so, good defense from Honduras, but now 2 players are in the net. Very vital block from Reynolds there in the corner, trying to switch that around as fast as possible. And that's something Honduras haven't really been able to do this entire game. Counter opportunities have not been made use of. And as a result, they still have yet to score a goal with 40 seconds left on the clock. AXB infield pass. There's the opportunity. They find it. 35 seconds to tie it up.
Yeah, off the side. Yeah, see, AXB probably should have just let that one wrap around and maybe go underneath it and then follow it up for the clear. Just a little bit of a mistake there, but they did have that 2-goal cushion. They did start to kind of relax a little bit and not push as hard. But the next 30 seconds, I expect them to start going crazy here, like with this pass play here.
Yep. Quick passing plays on the side of Honduras. AXB going for the miss. Typical trying to push that through in the final third. Can't quite make it happen. Honduras need to push forward, and they need to do it now. Zolhe misses his opportunity there, and AXB makes it 3 and probably a game.
Yeah, they saw the opportunity. AXB was just kind of hanging back. You saw Typical cycling back and just a slow bounce. AXB right at the apex of the bounce manages to knock that one in. I mean, it's really just more or less moving towards the net anyways. So might as well try to make it count. Now 15 seconds left. Reynolds will miss. Sapthew right there. That's going to go in. Yeah, that's painful. It looks like Reynolds is starting to panic a little bit, Pash.
Yeah. I mean, that is a shot that he usually wouldn't be able to score.
Yeah.
He just positions himself on that backboard. He had the time as well. It's not like it was a completely unexpected shot. It was a straightforward read, no tricky bounces, but yet he misplaces himself. Let's just come off the backboard.
More in the way that he flipped. Like he landed on the backboard and then side flipped, and it was a straight mistake. You kind of hate to see that, but I think that Honduras, really just realized there at the end that they had to speed things up. They really needed to just close the gap, and it was already too late. They probably should have just been talking about the next game, honestly, but they got a little bit caught up in the moment. So this is the time to kind of take a deep breath and figure themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes it is a fine high wire act between speed things up and don't get nervous, and it looked like Honduras fell on the wrong side of that wire. Well, they still got another game to try and rectify that, so let's see if they'll be able to. It is their final chance, though, as Brett has them on match point in game number 4. It's now or never for Honduras. Will they be able to pull through here and take it to 5? AXB, immediate shot onto target right off the get-go. Comes off of the sidewall. Yet again, as the ball is in midfield. Comes off. Zolhe looking for the pass. Rolda's trying to bump the goalies out of the way. Can't quite make it happen. Gets the demolition onto Zolhe. But it is typical who does so. 30 seconds in. Quiet game so far.
That's
AXB
why.
to push that forward.
You mentioned the quiet game right there. And Bread, once they get control, they start to try to break out the defense. They want to force the Honduras squad into an uncomfortable position before even taking a shot. The shot numbers haven't been huge, really for both teams, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that Bread has had a lot of the control here pretty much most of the series. We've seen sparks of radiance there on the Honduras side, but honestly, other than the one game where they won, it hasn't been too
Oh,
great
there's
as
the
Reynolds
chance.
follows this
Reynolds,
up.
the double tap doesn't get it, but the follow-up from Zolhe will find the net. Nothing lost there. First blood does go to Honduras.
And that right there is a great time to attack. I mean, AXB trying to defend this from backwards. He didn't go for the ball. I'm surprised by that. But I think he was out of boost at the same time. Unfortunately, the play developed so quick I couldn't switch to his camera.
Well, Honduras finally pulling through a counter opportunity, the first one in a while. And that is pretty much what won them game number 2, along with those demolitions that they were able to get at critical points. And that is something that Honduras tried to get, but really weren't able to in game 3. So it's got to feel good for them. Flip Reset has got my XP, not able to actually convert that into anything, though. Comes off the backboard. Important touch by Roldes there. Just with the edge of his hood. But that's all it took, because Bread had a solid offense going there. Roldes doing his work yet again in the midfield, pushing it forward into the final third. Infield passes attempted by Zolhe, but immediately stopped by AXB. And now Sathu and Sipical. There's the pass, there's the shot, there's the goal. Bread tie it up.
Sipical here was kind of involved in the play on this, then he realized where his position was. There wasn't anybody back there, so they raced themselves up there as Sathu just carries the ball downfield, gets it ready for the pass, and right in, just adding speed to it. There was a defender there on the goal line, but he just couldn't quite read it. He was trying to get himself set up. Also, he was on the wrong side of the play as Sathu up for another shot.
Oh, getting off of the backboard. Good defense coming in from Honduras. Instead of trying to scoop that off of the backboard, just cut off the shot of the passing station. There's the open net shot from Sathu, though, as Honduras got a little too comfortable on that defensive play, came out a bit too early.
And Roldes got an okay clear. It wasn't great, but Zolhe just tried to rush the play a little bit too much. There was Sathu right there. Honestly, they're kind of moving a little too fast, I think. Honduras can't quite rotate around themselves in this particular fashion, and Zolhe has always kind of had his own mind for the game, which isn't a bad thing. It's just that his teammates need to kind of learn how to read things like that, and with nobody to back up, Zolhe just left the goal open.
Yep. The clear was good, but it wasn't as good as Honduras made it look, with rushing out of their half.
Exactly.
Not just open up the net. Good pass onto AXB, looking for the double tap, comes back off of the crossbar. And Roldes in the side of the field. You see some bumping opportunities for Honduras, but what happened there?
Oh!
Reynolds, the only one back, able to rotate just in time to save that shot. 2 minutes on the clock. AXB yet again putting a shot up for Sipical, and he'll be able to smash that in. 3-1.
And Reynolds was right there. Take a look at his cam. Just had no momentum. Couldn't quite read what Sipical was going to do with that, and with Roldes there as well. Looks like he had just a little bit too much faith in his teammate on that play, but Roldes was coming from the wrong side. Honestly, if I was that defender, you go up for it. But of course, what do I know? I'm just a caster.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice pass.
No, Ninja, come on, man. Don't say that. That better?
Much better.
Okay, good.
Yes,
I'm glad. Well, minute and 30 still left on the clock. Roldes looking for an opportunity here. Gets it off the crossbar. Backboard. And Sathy with a wide clear. And Reynolds picking up on that ball, trying to dribble. It loses it to AXB on the sidewall. And Roldes going to have to clear that one away. Good pass on to Sathy. Intercepted by Zolhe, though. Very well done. Now the counter opportunity. XP is the only one back. Can they get it off the backboard? Good demolition for onto Zolhe, but it does not matter as Roldes was free for the pass, and the shot threading the needle through several enemy players.
And Zolhe was up looking for someone to demo. Unfortunately, he got demoed on the play, but that worked out well because Roldes already had the momentum going. The moment he realized that there was a demo on the play, he just ran up for it and went and made it happen. Now it's a 1-goal game, just about a minute left. It's still anyone's game. We could potentially see a game 5.
Yep. But Honduras need to make their counters, well, count. Because both of the goals that are on the board right now came from counter plays. And Bread are giving them ample opportunity for how aggressive they are. Bread's defensive side is remarkably uncovered sometimes when they have all 3 players in the orange half. Honduras just need to find an opportunity to get the ball past that 3-stack at the midfield line and into the net, but they only have 32 seconds to do so. Zohe trying to carry that into the midfield. Clear comes out from Sathview. Reynolds with a infield pass off of the side wall, caught by Sipico and pushed deep inside orange territory there. AXB going up for that one, and Brett is burning time right now, trying to keep the ball away from Honduras. They are all up in that orange half right now. All Honduras needs is one solid clear. There's the opportunity. Sathview misses the clear in the midfield. They do get the ball in the blue half, but there's only 3 seconds left. Push forward coming in from Reynolds. Zolhe trying to juggle that ball, keep it alive. Reynolds going for the angle there, but misses the ball. It touches the ground, and Bread win the game. It's a 3-1 series. Honduras showing a lot of promise, but ultimately, we're not able to actually pull through on all those promising opportunities that they got. While Bread relentlessly punishing every mistake. I mean, sure, leaving their defense unattended through large parts of the game, but Honduras just didn't make use of that. That's the thing. They got away with it because Honduras let them.
So the way that Bread like to play, and we saw a lot of that this series, is they like to push real hard, but the moment somebody makes a play or the moment somebody realizes they're not a part of the play, they're immediately starting to turn around and get back into that third man slot. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who just went for the shot heads back into that third man slot, because a lot of times the ball would slow down on the orange side or even in the orange crease. So you want that second man, the new second man, to come in, take a shot, and the person who just took the shot maybe doesn't have a lot of boost, but it doesn't matter because they're right there. Take that shot when it's dished out to you, such as that. And a lot of times Honduras found themselves in very awkward defensive positions after a big miss. And Bread were able to take advantage of that almost every single time. At least getting a couple of shots in, maybe not necessarily goals all the time, but just keeping that pressure alive was more than enough to send Honduras packing.
Yep. And packing they do go, and Bread move on to the grand final, where they'll be playing for that $1,500 grand prize. Of course, out of the $2,000 prize pool, $500 just for the second place team. But before we find out who takes those places, we're going to have to find out who Bread are going to face in the grand final. Our next match is certainly going to be interesting. A lot of upsets, let's call it that. Making sure that this is the match that we are about to see in the second semifinal. It's going to be Nefarious versus 72 Pin Connector. And it's going to be up next after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody, to the Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament powered by Team Beyond and Astro Gaming. My name's The Patch. Joining me is Ninja Rider, and we have a very interesting match coming up for you right now. First up, it is Nefarious, Buddy, Bell, and Garen. Bunch of names in there that we do regularly see. Bunch of names that I haven't seen around the scene in a while as well. Versus 72-pin connector, and I will be completely honest, I don't know who any of these players are. We have BP67, DD, and Lion Blaze on there. Lion Blaze does ring a bell, but apart from that, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look up the name Lion Blaze, but it does sound very familiar. They got their work cut out for him, though, I can tell you that. Oh, here we go,
Yeah.
Lion Blaze. This is why he sounds familiar. He was at the top of the NA 1v1.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah, it does ring a bell. It does ring a bell because yeah, every time these 1v1s happen, we do look up the rankings of the 1v1 players. So there we go.
Yeah, he actually took on the Car, another star of Beyond, if you will. And a variety of other streams, but yeah, no, he's been around for a little while.
Well, nonetheless, I mean, these guys have taken out RBG in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So they have definitely earned their spot here.
No, they really have, honestly. But I mean, they're going up against Nefarious, who has some serious names attached to that name. And Nefarious took out Vanguard.
Yeah.
So they're definitely on it tonight. Now they've had a little bit of time to kind of stew and figure some things out, I'm sure. So we'll have to see if there's any sort of arena rest that needs to be dinged off all 6 of these guys as we move into our second semifinal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Nefarious versus 72-pin connector. I would ask you what you think about it, but since 72-pin connector are such a dark horse coming into the series, I don't think it would be fair to ask you. So what do you think?
Well, all right then. I want to be surprised. As much as I like Buddy, Bell, and Garen, I think it would be really cool to see a Game 5. I still think Nefarious has a little bit more experience in these types of situations, so they're going to take it. But I would like to see a Game 5 out of this. I want to learn more about the 72-pin team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me too. So let's see what they've got. Let's see what they can put on the pitch for us here tonight as the game goes underway. Game 1 of a potential 5 in the second semifinal to find out who will face Bread in the grand for the money. Nefarious on blue, Bell, Buddy, and Garen. 72 pin on orange, BP 67, DD, and Lion Blaze. Here we go. The game is underway. It is for the ticket to the grand final. Buddy, infield pass. No one there to pick up on it, though. I agree, that was a heck of a pass, but unfortunately no passing station there. Buddy off of the sidewall. Again, a great pass straight onto Garen. Bell in the midfield gets blown up by Lion Blaze. There's the counter opportunity for 72 pin. Can't quite get it on target, but they win a lot of ground towards that blue half of the field. Lion Blaze with a good back pass. But BP, oh boy. That back pass almost, well, backfiring. As BP had to work hard to actually get to that in time. Lion Blaze gets the shot off on target, bounces off of the crossbar. We see a relatively even out first minute of the game, and there's the first blood goal for 72 pin, scored by DD off of the sidewall.
And you can see how, you know, BP got that demo, and it just freed up the midfield like crazy. Lion Blaze was challenging and just kind of hassling around the ball. Anybody that was going to go for it, he was right there for the bump or a demo or whatever, but DD just sees the way through, gets a little light on the board.
Certainly does. First minute has passed, and 72 pin coming out of it with the lead. Looking to extend it here as well. Lion Blaze, a fantastic dunk. We see a shot coming in from DD, and he'll fight the net as well. 2-0 now. Fantastically played from Lion Blaze in that corner.
And Buddy right here, that's the big miss. That had to be cleared out. Garen trying to read this with the pre-jump. If that would have been saved, that would have been astronomical. But yeah, nah, that was going to be a tough one anyways. But now as we move in, honestly, I am surprised. The 72 pin, they're kind of brash. They're a little brutal, but it is a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah. That they certainly are. And they're coming out swinging here, 2-0 against, well, the team of Buddy, Bell, and Garen, all of them. Known variables in the community, have been around for a long time. Buddy, very competitively active as well.
Yes. And
here comes a team that seemingly comes out of nowhere and has them 2-0 in the first game of the series. Oh, shot coming in from Buddy, and that'll hit the net square in the middle, right in the kisser.
Bell right here, just beautiful pass. Him and Buddy totally connected on the play. And like you said, pow, right in the kisser.
So, follow-up, but not the equalizer just yet for Nefarious. Bell with a miss in the midfield. Garen off the sidewall.
Oh, huge bump there.
BP looking for the pass there. Onto DD, pass back!
Oh my god!
Ping pong pass, and in it goes. 3-1 now for 72 pin.
And DD just trying to get in position there and ends up bumping into Buddy, and that works out even better as BP just goes for the pass. Not a whole lot of speed on the ball, but he times it well and sneaks it past the goalpost. As well as a defender, I think it was Garen right there. But that was going to be really tough to read.
Absolutely well done, and 72 pin have something to prove, and proving something is exactly what they're doing right now. I'm really impressed with them so far. Garen off of the backboard. Bell looking for the follow-up. Buddy doesn't quite have the open angle, but Bell coming in and smashing that into the net from close distance. They do get to within one.
And it looks like 72 pin have a little bit of a weakness, and that is their defense. They get a little bit confused there on the goal line. And of course, Nefarious are going to take advantage. But still have a little bit more to even this one up here for Nefarious. But it's starting to look like they're warming up to this squad.
Yep.
Oh.
That might be a matter of warm-up here. Good play from Lion Blaze to back patch that. Coming out with the clear straight away. Ball's in the corner. Buddy looking to contest that one. And DD looking for the clear. There's Lion Blaze. Will he get the double tap? Doesn't quite get it. The angle way too tight on that downward shot. And DD doesn't get the follow-up that he was looking for. All of 72 pin now retreating back home. There's the pin shot off of the crossbar. Could have gone in, and what a goal that would have been. In the corner now, BP looking to push through 2 defenders. Can't get it past the second. DD to keep that in the final third at all costs. Running out of boost, though, and BP versus Bell. Bell does get the touch and the clear. Pass on to Buddy to get it past the midfield line. A little over-eager there from DD. Now BP with the clearing opportunity. Comes off of the side wall, tries to get the second touch, runs out of boost just before he was able to make it. The clear comes back out from Nefarious, but 72 Pins still in the lead as of this moment. Pass the midfield again. Good pass onto Lion Blaze. Garen has got that covered. The follow-up from BP goes on to DD. Doesn't quite manage to get the touch, though. Flips into the sidewall and then past the ball. Oh! And good save from BP. Bell got through everyone except for BP at the final station there. Close call. Almost saw the equalizer here for Nefarious. Nefarious surely turning it up right now. Have to watch out for the counter opportunity, though. One clear is all that 72 Pin needs. If the Fairies continue to overextend in the way that they are right now, but they're doing a good job at locking down that midfield, making sure that no ball gets past them. They're playing with fire right now, but they pretty much have got to because they're still behind. And whether you lose by 1 or 2 doesn't really make a difference. You still lose. 30 seconds remaining. Comes off of the side wall. BP gets it past Garen, but Bell with a wide clear goes all the way up, straight into the net. Cross field goal. And 72 Pins defense with their first big blunder of the game.
Yeah, that was a big one. I mean, Bell just massive clear, gets a great touch on it, and completely takes Lion Blaze and DD by surprise. DD called it. He didn't get the touch at all. Lion Blaze completely trusting in his teammate to make that touch. Didn't work out for him. Now we might have a kickoff goal. No, Garen flips right past it.
Might be on track for overtime here unless BP can get it past everyone he can. But Buddy, out of boost, manages to wrap around in just the right way just before the ball crosses the net. 3 seconds away from overtime here. Will we see it? Ball crosses the midfield line. Will find the ground in the corner. We are into overtime in game number 1 between Nefarious and 72 Pin. What a game this has been so far. 72 Pin taking the lead early, extending it as well, but Nefarious clawing their way back within the final 30 seconds to take it to OT. Now it is anyone's game.
And it does kind of seem like Nefarious are just a little bit out of sync. Those crossfield passes just aren't connecting quite as well as they'd like to, but 70... Oh, I thought Buddy might be able to squeeze that one through. Now he's getting bumped around by 72 Pin. Just get out of there, Buddy.
Buddy, in his career prospects to become a ball, looking to get bumped around by pretty much everyone. Infield pass coming in from him now. Rolls up the side wall. Bell looking to center that one straight onto Garen. Ground is gained. Garen going to follow that up here as well. Good rebound off of the corner. Buddy ready for the shot, but DD to deflect that off to the side wall. And BP versus Bell in the corner. Buddy gets blown up. That means nothing. Follow-up is not there as the ball comes down in front of the net. Crucial demolition there from 72 Pin. But Buddy is back, and he is back with a vengeance. Goes off into the corner yet again. Placed there by Lion Blaze as DD carries it across the midfield line. Garen in that final third under a lot of pressure. Infield pass. DD is ready for it, but the save coming out from Buddy. Very well played there. And the counterattack is mounted by Nefarious. Stops. Dead in its tracks by Lion Blaze. He gets the pinch, he gets the dunk, he gets the goal, he gets the game for 72 Pin.
So Buddy had a decent idea here to try to get some control on this, and Garen just got too far behind on that. And Lion Blaze was able to wedge that on the roof. Squirts one out and in. Absolutely perfectly shot there. I have a feeling those one skills came in clutch right there.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a play that you'd expect from a 1v1 midfield pinch dunk. So well played from Lion Blaze right there. Straight on target as well. And it is a well-deserved victory for 72 Pin. They've held their own throughout the entire game. They did more than that. They had the lead for most of it. Nefarious just able to wrestle it back in the final 30 seconds of regulation time, but the overtime does go to 72 Pin. They take the game. Very well played. I'm so surprised.
Well,
that was crazy.
And Nefarious are trying to work their way through the latest Renegade Cup. This would be perfect practice for them to go up against teams that they've never seen, and they have to adapt. And let's face it, 72-Pin have a weird play style. They play different than everyone else. So Nefarious have their work cut out for them, I think, but they're going to have to start reading these plays a little bit quicker.
Yeah. We're in game 2. Immediate shot coming out from Buddy and BP. 67 to clear that. DD off into the corner. Garen's already waiting there. Lion Blaze. Let's get the ball played behind him. Good fake by Garen, but DD was ready for it. Clears it out. Carries it across the midfield line. Lots of ground gained now for 72-Pin, but Garen playing it slowly all across the field. Past the midfield line. Gets the dunk past the defender. Lion Blaze to play that back, but Bell has got that ball's number. Good shot, but DD will block it. Yet another opportunity onto Garen. They won't be able to save that one. Nefarious, quick attack, and they find the net. Nefarious were all over the place there. Garen trying to recover it, and then he decides to just cut back. Bell wasn't quite ready to get involved in that play. He was turned to the side, trying to cover all the open field that he could. And luckily for Nefarious, they were able to squeeze that one in, but Bell couldn't recover in time, and now Lion Blaze puts 72-Pin on the board. A quick follow-up kickoff goal right there. So well played by 72-Pin as well. Lion Blaze was immediately there for the follow-up. Picked the right side as to where the ball was going to go, and was able to quickly get behind every defender that could have saved that shot. So the lead for Nefarious was not long-lived at all. So we are a minute in, 1 goal apiece. Snake eyes on the scoreboard. VP into the corner. Mind Blaze with a center ball. Bell will be able to clear that. Completely out of boost, though. DD looking to pass that straight back. Good touch from Buddy. Makes him jump into absolutely nothing, but Lion Blaze does get the block off of the dribble play from Bell. It's going to come off the backboard here and cleared off of it by Lion Blaze. But Nefarious is still on the attack, and they are really ramping up the aggression right now and ramping up the pressure as well. As 72-Pin haven't been able to get out of their half ever since that goal that they scored, and it's about a full minute since then.
And that demo right there by DD was absolutely perfectly timed. That could have been a shot. The BP now turns it into a shot. It's off the corner. Oh, dude. Tense moment.
Yeah, that looked a little dangerous there. The clear from Garen gets it off the goalpost just the nick of time. Slightly misjudged there by BP. The rebound off the backboard. Nefarious do keep ball control here, but DD wrestles it back, carries it back in front of the net. Her buddy gets the clear. Bell to carry that into the orange final third. Pass on to Garen, intercepted by DD. Bell's going to have to get a handle on this ball, but BP takes it off of him. His teammates in the meanwhile rotating back at a good backboard clear coming in from Buddy. Garen and Bell both trying to put some extra distance on that, directed towards the net, but the double commit will cost them a bit of presence in the midfield. There's the miss from DD, though, on the defense. And just past halftime, the Nefarious take the lead.
And that's exactly what Nefarious were trying to do. Draw out 72-Pin, force the mistake. Now, Lion Blaze completely dead center in the net. Not a great place to be when you're trying to defend on that, but it looked like Lion Blaze was trying to read the play as much as he can and get to the correct side. It's just that he found himself in no man's land the moment a shot came out.
Good block from Lion Blaze. Gonna try to follow that up here, but Buddy beats him to the ball. Good touch, good demo. Garen will get the save here. Trying to carry it through as well, but the rebound off of the corner, and BP looking to fake out Buddy, but Buddy will not let that happen. Outfield clear, straight onto Garen. He converts it to a clear past the midfield line. Lion Blaze slightly misjudging that ball, completely out of boost. Not a lot he can do there, as Bell will carry that into the corner.
Oh.
Good block coming out from DD, and Buddy making sure they keep control of the ball, but here comes Lion Blaze with a cross-map shot. Garen to clear that off into the corner where DD is already waiting. He does manage to retreat, switches, tags out with BP. Buddy will get the clear. Nefarious still on the lead here. A minute and 25 seconds left on the clock. And 72-Pin are going to have to put up some aggression, and that's something that they really haven't had to do in game number 1. I think this is where we'll really see whether 72-Pin will break down under pressure. because now they are behind. They don't have a lot of time. I mean, it's plenty of time, but not a lot to try and get the equalizer. But most importantly, they have to really push forward now. And that, as I said, is something that they haven't had to do so far. They've relied on counters. They've relied on the passing plays in that final third. But generally, they have at least one player back at all times. There is the crossbar shot. BP hits the goalpost with the follow-up. Huge opportunities for 72 pin, but they aren't able to actually make use of them. So close, though.
Yeah, no, that was massive. 72 pin really needed the score there. And now it's just Nefarious. They don't even need to score at this point. They can just kind of kill the last 30 seconds and force 72 pin into just these awkward defensive spots that they've been this whole time. It just seemed like 72 pin are moving a lot faster than they kind of know how to, so they're making a lot of mistakes there, especially on clears and just placing the ball where they want it to go. And Buddy just pulls one from out of nowhere.
That was amazing. The setup from Garen off of the wall. And Buddy just killing the ball shy of Lineblaze. It was ready to pounce at him, but he just takes the speed out of it, makes Lineblaze jump into thin air. Has an open net to score on 3-1 now for Nefarious, and they will take their win back. And it kind of goes to show, just as I was saying, 72 pin put under pressure. And I won't say they break down, because, well, they did have those huge opportunities, crossbar followed by goalpost, to get the equalizer. But ultimately, they were... I feel like 72 pin are just not comfortable with getting wide cross-field clears. Because they always try to go for those passing plays, even when, when it's in their own half. They have confidence in their team chemistry, but they don't seem to have any confidence when it comes to clearing the ball out and relying on each other to follow it up and put up some pressure. Right. They tried to build up their plays from their own half, and it's been working well in game number 1, but Nefarious have switched around their play style, and now they're getting in between those passes, and that kind of took all the wind out of 72 pin's sails.
Exactly, and 72 pin are the ones that needs to start changing things up. Get those direct clears. Don't worry about the ball being just sailing to the other side. Yeah, Nefarious are fast, but if you're shooting for some open pitch, you'll be fine, and it'll allow you to just reset, take a half a second to reset, get yourself situated, and make that offensive push.
That's a good shot coming in from BP to kick off the game. Buddy will be able to save that one, and Lineblaze still in the corner. And this is where 72 pin are their most comfortable, when they have a siege going, where they can make use of that space to pass the ball between each other. Good clear coming in from Buddy. And 72 pin rushing back in their own half. Good play from Lineblaze, gets past one, gets it past Bell as well. And BP looking to follow that up in the corner, bounces off of the backboard, too far back for DD to actually pick up on that play, and now Nefarious have broken through, and that's going to be an open net for them. First blood scored from Nefarious. 72 pin turned the dial a little too far.
Yeah, just a bit too far. And a 72 pin connector, not known to be one of the fastest connectors out there. I think they kind of showed why right there, because they left no one back at all. There was nobody even rotating back. Everybody was just going for a goal. So it seems like 72 pin, once they get on offense, they kind of lose sight of what they're trying to do. As Buddy goes up for a shot here, it's off of Garen's fender into the corner.
Just a couple of degrees off of that angle for that downward shot. Still sitting on their 1-0 lead. Lineblaze looking to dribble that yet again, establishing a dribble play from within their own half, but that's immediately intercepted. Buddy, infield pass. DD will be able to clear that one out. Bell to get that off of the ceiling. Garen, yet another shot, a little wide on the angle. DD is taken out of the play. Infield pass onto Garen, slightly misplaced. There's the counter opportunity. That net is open. Nefarious make the same mistake that 72 pin made.
And that's right. Yeah, you can see the pass there, or the touch there by Bell. I think he was looking for a teammate, but it was just such a weird angle. Even his teammates were like, what? I think they were kind of more expecting a bounce off the wall more than anything else. It just caught them both by surprise. And, of course, nobody really backed there on Nefarious. That was their big mistake there.
Buddy and VP are interlocked. Buddy is the one to break it off. That's rule 2. That's rule 2 of Rocket League. Rule 1 is keep the ball up no matter what. And rule 2 is if you're interlocked with someone, you do not let go.
See, that's the real rules. That's some Reddit thing. Oh, Garen shot possible? Lion Blaze blocked away. The one skills coming out here from Lion Blaze.
That was amazingly played on defense, and he gets yet another save off of the shot from Bell. Garen to carry that in front of the net yet again. There's the quick switch around play, looking for the counter. Lion Blaze goes up in a, well, blaze of lions, I guess. Well, there weren't really any lions there. It was more fire, but you know what I mean. As we are nearing halftime, or actually hitting halftime, we are tied at 1 between both teams. Lion Blaze pass on to BP, slightly overshot. Huge opportunity for them. Here comes Lion Blaze to try and follow it up. Garen blocks off his angle. DD gets it off the backboard here, and Lion Blaze will have another opportunity yet again. Intercepted, but the ball is still on goal trajectory. DD bumping out one of the goalies, and Lion Blaze wisely making the choice to retreat for the time being. That's exactly the choice that he wanted to make. Doesn't get the touch. Counter opportunity yet again for 72 pin. As Garen catches it just before it can reach the final third. 2 minutes left on the clock, and this game has picked up on pace.
Really has. Ball just kind of careening off of walls all over the place. And 72-pin connector have still not really been able to turn this into something as Lion Blaze, big miss, Garen off the corner.
And Lion Blaze with a clutch defense yet again. That ever so slight touch was all that it took. There's the shot on target from Bell, though. Where did that come from?
Bell just found himself on the other side. He was closer to the ball, closer to the play.
God.
Calls off Buddy and just kisses the ball in. Right above the head of the defender. Well done. Bell has definitely not lost his stride at all.
Certainly hasn't. What a shot that was. The angle he had to that ball, nobody would have expected a shot, much less one that was dead on target. And Nefarious taking the lead here with 1:20 left on the clock. Infield pass straight onto DD. Bell will intercept that one. Ball is high up, and Lion Blaze waiting for it to come down. Clashes with one of the defenders, and Bell looking to clear that off of the crossbar. Backboard, excuse me. The infield pass comes out, intercepted by Lion Blaze. DD in the corner trying to push through. Makes Bell come off of his position. But Nefarious with a 3-stack on defense. It's going to be tough to overcome. 50 seconds remaining. Garen gets it past the midfield line. Lion Blaze, past Lion Blaze. There's the clear from DD. Gonna serve straight back. Crossbar hit coming out from Nefarious, and BP going up for that one. Garen yet again looking for the pass, looking for the rebound of the corner. Lion Blaze keeps it in the corner for the time being, but Bell is waiting there, completely out of boost. And 72 pin, there's so much pressure right now. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, they need a solid play. Buddy and DD just push the ball against one another. And look at all the pressure, look at all the aggression that the Nefarious are throwing out. Even though they are in the lead, they still want another goal, and they're going to get it. And Nefarious is turning it up to 12.
Buddy, right here. I mean, Bell just challenged by Lion Blaze on this. Lion Blaze realizing that both DD and BP were right there, and Buddy just racing in to finish that one off. Lion Blaze had all his faith in the teammates, and the teammates had no idea what to do once they saw Buddy flying at the ball.
And that is going to be it for game number 3. Yep.
Well, one more.
Yeah. I mean, one more for good measure. But, man, what a match these two teams have been able to put on the pitch here.
And Lion Blaze was racing back to try to make some sort of save happen. Just didn't quite get the timing there. He just missed it in order to flip that one away from his net. Or even just for a pinch off the backboard. But yeah, GG's all over the place because 72-pin connector really put Nefarious through their paces. I mean, Nefarious had to break out some decent plays to make that work. That said, the poor old Nintendo connector could not make it through to the finals.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. For them.
Well, I mean, they still have a game to do it. This is only game 3. We have one more. Potentially.
Oh, my bad. Oh,
that Nefarious have to win because 72-pin did win that first game.
Right.
And then Nefarious coming back with 2.
Scoring is so good. So good at this.
So yeah, but this is definitely their final chance. Or one of their potential 2 final chances if they do manage to win game number 4. They have to take it to game 5 right now. It's either going to be a 3-2 or 72 Pin will not be able to see it through to the grand final. And man, Nefarious, after the surprising strong showing from 72 Pin in the first game, Nefarious were just able to adjust absolutely perfectly. They snuffed out 72 Pin's playstyle, and ever since then, 72 Pin have kind of been struggling to adjust to the adjustment, as I like to call it. Gonna start things off here with a opportunity.
Oh,
Follow-up
man.
shot is placed way too high. But 72 Pin still looking for that first blood shot, and there it goes. Lion Blaze will take the first goal in this game.
And Nefarious just getting all out of sorts here on the defense here. Buddy got pushed out of there. Garen had to try to recover and get some boost, leaving Bell there. Bell just could not read the play there. Lion Blaze just going nuts on this ball. And yeah, for those who don't know, the 72-pin connector was what was in the original NES.
Yeah.
So, in case you're wondering why I made the Nintendo reference when I wrongly said they were out of the tournament.
Yeah, I think they were used for printers as well. Like back in the very early days of printing.
I think so.
It was just a general purpose
yeah.
serial interface. I think it wasn't serial. I'm not sure. I'm kind of rusty on my electrical engineering.
Your
Yeah.
technology.
Well, it does not matter. 72 Pin do have the first goal on the board, and Nefarious kind of pushed back on their own half right now. They do break out. There's a shot on target corner from Bell, and Didi will be able to save that one. Lion Blaze to carry that through to the other half, and that's something they're going to have to keep doing because it's been working out for them so far. Wide clears followed by follow-ups. That's something that we have not seen from 72 Pin. They love going for those passing plays, but those have been intercepted by Nefarious, and that's why it hasn't been working out for them in the past two games. 72 Pin, well, this is really their final chance to switch up their playstyle a little bit.
And you can see Nefarious playing actually decently patient. Yeah, they got two up, but as Garen off the backboard makes the touch and bounce in. Okay, Garen, I'll shut up. Jeez, man. But honestly, there's a good pass there by Bell. Garen had to correct it just a little bit, but Garen has plenty of mechanical skill there to make that pass happen. And Garen technically subbing in here for Nefarious to get them through this tournament, and Garen has definitely been pulling his weight. I am impressed.
Oh, yeah. Certainly has. I mean, every player on Nefarious has been pulling their weight. I mean, we expected them to. They're old dogs in the scene.
Well, we have, but yes, but Garen is not the normal player here. Even their sub isn't in. So Garen, obviously a friend of the other Nefarious guys, and clearly they play well. Let's not start a rumor, though.
Yeah, let's not. It's just the end of the year. I'm sure 2019 will bring a lot of interesting news. But let's wrap up 2018 first. Nearing halftime, the game is tied. Lion Blaze past the midfield line. BP looking for the pass, but Didi on his way out. That's a free pass to the enemy team right there. His buddy's struggling to actually clear that out of the corner and push back forward by Didi. Bell on the backboard. Playing it slow, making 72 Pin jump for them. The Nefarious have realized that 72 Pin aren't too strong on that whole aggression, heavy pressure thing, and kind of baiting 72 Pin into their own half, just to then try and get the ball past them. It is a dangerous game that they're playing, as we have seen, with 72 Pin getting a couple of chances off of that. But for the time being, Nefarious seem to have the game under control.
And 72 Pin, once they are up for any sort of shot, if it's not Lion Blaze taking the shot, it's definitely not guaranteed in. And they do seem to be having a little bit of trouble with accuracy. I mean, every team does that once in a while, but you definitely don't want to see that when you're trying to make yourself...
Oh, Didi with the opportunity.
Oh, Garen nearly on goaling.
Intercepted there by Garen. Pretty much had to, or Didi would have been the one to score it. But able to pull through just in time. Garen now in the corner. Lion Blaze with a wide game. Bell able to get that off of the backboard. Pinch off of the ceiling for BP. 57. Perfectly pick him up on that bounce and straight into the net. Great shot.
And from all the way back at the midfield line. He was definitely playing third man, and then just with all the confidence in the world, makes the shot happen. Beautifully played there by Didi. That's got to be a confidence booster here. We could be going to a game 5.
Well, a minute and 8 seconds are all that stand between us and the decision. Little bit of fortune on the side of 72-pin connector right there. The ball bounces past the against the goalpost and is straight back out again. The final minute is underway. Theoretically, all that 72-pin need to do right now is keep their net clean. That is a lot easier said than done. Especially if Nefarious really gets going. Double commit, but BP clears it up. Tries to go for the follow-up. Gets it off of the crossbar. Here comes Garen trying to switch it on to play. Counter opportunity for Nefarious. Switches it to the left. Gets bumped by Lion Blaze. 30 seconds left on the clock. And the ball is in the final third. Comes off the backboard. But cleared away yet again by 72-pin.
Back pass, nice.
Back pass indeed, trying to keep the play going, trying to build up anew. They don't have a lot of time left. Buddy gets the dunk in the midfield, but Lion Blaze sends it straight back. Will we go to game 5 here? There's the shot from Lion Blaze. It's saved by Garen, but they still have the lead, and the Fairies are going to have to push it out. They're going to have to go on all-out attack right now. They're going to have to juggle the ball as well, keep it up in the air. Rule 1 of Rocket League, but Lion Blaze does get his hands on the ball, tries to smash it onto the ground. No one from the Fairies will get there in time, and we are going to game number 5.
72-pin showing exactly why they belong here. Yes, they started out the first part of the game a little bit shaky. A lot of missed shots. A lot of opportunities just completely wasted. But Nefarious couldn't convert their chances into a goal either. And 72-pin was able to make that amazing shot there. Didi on the last shot that they had, the last goal, was brilliant. I don't think even he thought that was going to go in, but he got the angle he needed to find, knocked it right in, and then they were able to just hold off this siege by Nefarious. And it seems like 72-pin have found their speed. Once they get a little bit of confidence in them, they're good to go. Hopefully that'll transmit into this next game. But Nefarious, they can strike at any time.
Yep, they certainly can. They certainly have picked a fitting name for themselves. As we are in game number 5, this will decide who will get to face Bread in the grand final. Will it be Nefarious or will it be 72-pin connector? A blast from the past. Lion Blaze with the fake gets it all the way to Garen right in front of the net, but not any further than that. Comes off of the ceiling, clear coming out from Buddy, trying to follow that up. Lion Blaze trying to cut off his lane to the ball. Clash between Garen and BP on the wall. Lion Blaze to clear that out, but Nefarious with a lot of pressure. Cross map clear. Lion Blaze going to follow that up. Comes down right in front of the net, but no follow-up there. Lion Blaze trying to keep the play going. And ultimately, Garen will get his hands on that ball. Good block from BP. Mid-air. And DD one-on-one looking for the flick. Doesn't quite get it. And reinforcements have arrived for Nefarious. 72-pin still on the offense here. Big whiff coming in from DD. 72-pin forced to retreat to their own half of the field. The final minute has passed. First minute, has passed, and we don't have a goal on the board yet. There's the opportunity, though. The save from Didi, so well played. First one came off of the woodwork. Second one off of the defender. Nefarious with 2 quick chances, but both of them not finding the goal just yet.
Lion Blaze with a great flip there to just send that one out, and they're going to reset just a touch. And 72-pin have been weathering the storm here pretty well. Didi came in for a great shot. The double tap going in nicely.
So well played. Perfectly set up all by himself. Didi in the midfield follows the ball up, has perfect trajectory on his car. Didn't even have to burn any boost as he was flying towards the ground. That double tap was perfectly set up and executed all by himself.
Really, that confidence. Confidence there by 72-pin after winning that last game. They know they can do it. It does seem like Nefarious, they're getting just a little bit flustered, and they're actually slowing down. They're kind of becoming a little bit awkward here. The only one that really seems to be not caving under this pressure is Buddy, but he's been kind of hanging back a little bit. Now he's starting to get a little bit involved, and it seems like Buddy wants to be the anchor of this team, and it makes sense. He has a lot of competitive experience, recent competitive experience, I should say.
Yeah. Well, nearing halftime, the Nefarious have gotten so many chances, but none of them actually finding the net. It has been a, well, relatively low
here we go.
game, if that makes any sense. Oh, the big whiff, and Lion Blaze does not have enough boost to actually get, he had enough boost, decided not to burn it and try and go for that counterplay. Ultimately, 72-pin will keep their lead here. Buddy flying past the ball, and that threw off the defenders. Let's just say it was intentional.
Yeah, Buddy with the miss there actually worked out great. BP wasn't quite in position.
No, the fake. The fake.
We're calling it a fake?
We're calling it a fake.
We're calling it a fake.
When in doubt, it's always
Pash
a fake.
is the boss. He has spoken. It is a fake.
Yes, it is a fake. It is always a fake. It is never a miss.
Honestly, though, it was fantastically played. It drew out the 72-pin guys. That's exactly what needs to happen there on a shot like that. And 72-pin have been kind of holding up in their defense, really just around the goal line, and it worked out well for him there. Nefarious, I should say, worked out well for Nefarious, being able to draw him out like that.
2 minutes left on the clock, just about. Snake Eyes on the board. But he can carry that forward. Garen leaving that one for Bell. His play has slowed down. You can really see both teams are really tense right now. Buddy gets a shot off on target, blocked mid-air by Lion Blaze. Demolition onto Didi, but it won't do too much. The ball is on its way out of the orange cap, but Nefarious have been staying there for quite a while right now, and 72-pin not letting themselves get pushed against the wall, and that is not going to go well for long. Bell finds the net.
And like you mentioned, the game is just completely slowed down here. Buddy, realizing that, just goes for an attack, gets the pass out, and Bell on the other side of the map. He wasn't necessarily looking for a shot because there was a lot of coverage there. It's just that he needed to buy a lot of time. But when that shot opened up, he was right there ready to pounce on it. Well positioned there by the whole Nefarious squad.
Oh, there's another opportunity. Garen gets bumped out before he can make the perfect shot happen. There's still a lot of time. Well, not a lot, but a bit of time left for 72-pin connector, excuse me, to try and tie this one up. Demolition onto Buddy. The ball is on its way to the net. Lion Blaze with a deflection on the goal line. Buddy with a clutch against BP mid-air. DD kills the ball. Popped up into the air. Lion Blaze starting to carry that out. 45 seconds remaining. We're going to have to see some major initiative coming out of 72-pin connector here. Good clear from Lion Blaze, blocked by Bell in the midfield. BP trying to switch it around to the other side of the field, but Garen is already waiting there. And here's the chance. BP trying to set it up for Didi. Comes off of the ceiling. Buddy with the clear. Lion Blaze finds the opportunity, but cannot put the shot on target. Was a little overwhelmed there. And threw the baby out with the bathwater. 13 seconds remaining. And Bell clears that deep into the orange half. This is definitely going to have to be a buzzer beater if it does turn out to be a goal. Comes off of the backboard. Buddy, there's the clear. Didi trying to pop it up. All that Nefarious needs to do is slam that on the ground, and they do. 1 goal margin, but that is all that it took. Nefarious go on to the grand final to meet Brett, while 72-pin connector will be pushed into obsolescence. I guess next time we will see them as USB connector or something along those lines. What came after the 72-pin?
The serial port?
Yeah, okay. Serial port next time then.
The game controller port?
Something along those lines. I mean, USB, you can't go wrong with USB. That's a good modern standard. You can call themselves USB Type-C. And that way they'll be on the cutting edge of technology.
Yeah, now we're talking.
But nonetheless, good games, absolutely. This was an entertaining series to watch, and I'm excited to see 72-pin connector hold their own against a tough squad. I mean, let's be honest here. Nefarious was a tough squad, and they took it all the way to Game 5. They brought the game to them, and that definitely deserves some major recognition right there. So good job, guys.
You can see how Lion Blaze was trying to lead the team a little bit and force whatever squad they were playing against, whether it was Nefarious or maybe any of the previous teams, to get out of their comfort zone. The problem was that, with that strategy is that Nefarious are really good at just changing the way that they're going to attack the ball and force an issue. It almost seemed like they weren't even necessarily going to set up for goals. And then out of nowhere, they're in position for a pass play and then slamming the ball in the net. And it did kind of seem like 72 Pin was starting to catch up to that sort of idea, but because Nefarious can do it at random, and the third man, whatever third man, either one of them was so good at just reading a play and seeing a shot and then executing said shot, just a little bit too much for him. And I think a lot of that just kind of comes down to just rotation. And 72 Pin can work on that. They have something concrete to work on. Their offense is fine. Honestly, I thought it was great whenever they made it onto offense. It was beautiful. We saw some great shots, good accuracy. Here and there, it was a little bit spotty, but that'll come with time. But I think we have a strong squad who can definitely grow into something great.
Yeah, I'm absolutely excited to see more of 72 Pin Connector in 2019. Assuming that this wasn't just a pickup squad, but they definitely looked really strong together, and there's a lot of potential there. It's just needs to be tapped into, and they've already managed to do that to quite a bit of an extent tonight against Nefarious, which is a strong squad. They keep on it, keep at it, keep practicing, keep grinding. I'm pretty sure we can see some greatness come out of that lovely blast from the past team.
I just want to see a 72 Pin Connector versus Betamax.
Well, perhaps one day.
For all the kids in the chat, go Google that. Just Google it. You'll get it.
Well, perhaps one day. But for the time being, we have to say goodbye to 72 Pin Connectors, and we say hello to Nefarious in the grand final, where they will be facing off against Bread. It is the match, the money match. $1,500 are up for grabs in that first place prize. And of course, the prestige. And of course, the ability to say we closed out 2018 with a big win. The final match of the Astronauts Rocket League Series in 2018 is about to start. We'll be right back after a short break, and when we're back, it's going to be Bread versus Nefarious. Stick around.
day is complete. Please return to your vessels. The factory is going into shutdown.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament powered by Team Beyond and Astro Gaming, the last one for 2018. Trying to close it out with a bang. My name's Tapash. Joining me is Ninja Rider, and we have a grand final on our hands. Bread versus Nefarious. Sathu, AXB, Sipical versus Buddy, Bell, and Garen. We've seen them both play. We've seen Nefarious just ever so slightly eke out a win against 72-pin Connector, a team that was a dark horse coming into this tournament, and yet they were able to take old dogs of the scene all the way to game number 5. What do you think, Ninja? What do you expect from this?
I think the Fairies had quite the battle in front of them with 72 pin, and so they're going into this possibly a little bit discombobulated. Now they're going to see a squad that's a little bit more traditional, if you will, in the way that they approach the game of Rocket League. And it's ways that work, so that they probably have a better idea as to how to go into this. And they were watching the first semifinal, so they have an idea as to how Bread was playing. That said, I think Bread is going to have to warm up a little bit just to get back into the stride of it. So I expect the first couple of minutes of game 1 to be on the Nefarious side of things, all dark and gloomy and such. And then out of nowhere, it's just going to smell like bread and just this mix of darkness. I don't know. It's going to be wild. I'm predicting a game 7. I don't know where I was going with that. I still think Brad is going to take it.
Well, I'll have to agree with that because Brett just looked very, very consistent and solid tonight. And I think they'll be able to carry that through all the way to the grand final as well. There is definitely $1,500 at stake, and Bread definitely don't want to let that slip through their hands, even though they are used to winning money in tournaments. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I think Nefarious are the ones who have the big fight ahead of them. But the only way we can find out is by sending the players onto the pitch. It is the final match of 2018 in the Astronauts Rocket League series. It is between Bread and Nefarious. Who will take the crown going into 2019? Who will win this tournament? Bread, AXB, Sathu, Typical on blue, Nefarious, Bell, Buddy, and Garen on orange. And the game is underway. Let us see if Bread will continue their solid play, if they'll continue to impress and convince, or if Nefarious can stand up against an opponent that is stronger on paper. But paper doesn't win you games.
Well, that's true. Paper doesn't win you games, but I really do think that they have the skill to, but I don't know if they have the execution and the consistency quite that Bread does. I mean, let's face it, the mixture of Bread just, it promotes consistency all the way across the pan.
I have to deal with bread puns throughout this entire
No,
cast.
I'm done. I don't have any more.
I mean, that was a good one. I'll give you that. That was a really good one. Like that was actually really good.
I stretch.
Yeah. But anyway, first minute is underway and not much has happened yet. Surprisingly, both teams still feeling each other out. Relatively eventless so far. We have 3 shots in total from both teams. None of them actually on target just yet. There's the pass onto Sipical. That is caught out. And Sathiel looking to use the corner. Sipical yet again has his shot blocked in that final third. AXB has his pass blocked by Bell. And every move that either team is trying to make right now is immediately snuffed out and stopped by the other team. It is about as even as a game could possibly get. And we will see the first mistake come out. Good save from Garen.
Garen got the read off of the ceiling transition, too. Very tough to do. He's able to time the jump out and force the play back to the midfield. But really, like you said, nobody getting control here. And although, push? No, not quite. See, and again, we're seeing a lot of these long pass, sort of long ball type setups. And it's just going to take a quick stoppage, kind of like Sipical attempted to do there to score a goal. But we're already coming up here on halftime. And again, it's just so even. That said, both teams are breaking up passes. They're doing everything that you're supposed to do to defeat a team like, well, the other team.
Well, since I last checked the scoreboard about 2 minutes ago, not a single shot has been added to either of the teams. So this is about as feeling each other out as it can get. There's a shot and a save as well from AXB. But not really anything dangerous right there. More of, standard procedure.
It's your
another day, another
white
dollar.
Bread as opposed to the jalapeno bread.
I thought you were done.
What? It's a comparison. It's not a pun.
Comes off of the ceiling. Sipical off of the backboard. Follow-up shot coming in from Sathiu, and Bell just able to get that tiny little touch on it that throws it off track. Finally starting to see things happen on the pitch. It's been more of a friendly neighborhood soccer match than high-octane rocket-powered battle car. Minute and 30 seconds still left on the clock.
Oh.
Sathiu, downward shot, comes off of the backboard. They finally find the gap that they were looking for. Good passing play from Brett to take the lead. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in.
And they left Garen in the goal. He tried to read that one off of the backboard. Patience was needed there, I think. Nefarious trying to force the issue a little bit and get that long clear. Even though there was somebody back there, AXB was all the way back just waiting for it, really. Nefarious now trying to do the same thing.
Oh. Good clear. Take the danger right out of the zone. Ooh. Big whiffs on both sides. Ball just coming down in front of that blue net. And we see Garen try to carry that in, but a bit of bad luck on his side means the ball jumps out after hitting the goalpost. Sathiu solid clear, Buddy to send that back into that final third. Final minute on the board now. Nefarious are forced to turn up the heat. Now looking for the dribble. Fakes out one. Sipical, though, comes out early. Prevents him from even continuing the dribble towards him. AXB will give himself a save. Infield pass. A little overshot.
Oh.
Bell picks up on it. Very well played. Another infield bounce from Buddy. Off of the corner. Shot on target, wide on the angle. AXB with a follow-up, hits the crossbar, and Garen almost own goaling that. Would have been so unfortunate, but here comes the open net from the midfield. Perfect setup by Garen. We're tied up.
And Buddy helped out a little bit there. He got a nice pinch coming off of the goal line right there. And Bell reacting exactly the way he needed to redirect that one at the midfield and right in. A bit of a surprise goal there for Nefarious, but we take those.
What a pinch that was indeed to set up that goal. 20 seconds remaining now, and now things are going to heat up for sure. As we are on track for overtime, but both teams have already smelt the blood of victory, the scent of victory, of scoring a goal.
Oh, Bell.
Well, wide on the shot. Clear comes out. Switch around play to the other side of the field. Buddy makes it come off of the backboard. Will there be a follow-up? Double commit just to keep it out of the game. The pass onto Bell slightly too late on the pickup. Ball touches the ground, and we are into overtime in game number 1. And really, that is only the most fitting end to this game, in overtime.
And both teams just challenging well. We're not seeing any double commits. We're not seeing any triple commits at all. And it all comes down to the challenge. This is very much a sort of fire burner-esque game where everybody just going for a ball. Oh, there's a pass. Sathiu. Oh, what a save.
From Buddy. He had his back to the ball, jumped backwards, and was able to save that. Sipical off of the backboard. Sathiu looking to thread the needle here, but Buddy gets another save for himself. Huge stuff.
Oh.
But the pass onto Sathiu are not able to actually convert that into a goal, even though he's right in front of the net. Hits it past the goal post. bit of a mess in Nefarious's defense there after 2 huge saves,
Bell.
but they are able to somehow get away unscathed.
Oh, God. And Buddy, that was a cross. He really shouldn't have been doing that, but he was just moving so fast. He couldn't quite react in time. Now a pass to Buddy. He's trying to find some open pitch so they can spread out, get a little boost going, and maybe get a play.
Oh, Bell to that corner. Sipical is waiting there. See Garen try to carry that all across to the blue half of the field. Does manage to carry it there. Back pass might have been dangerous. Straight into the path of Sipical. Gets it off the backboard. Yet another save by Buddy. The demolition onto Bell to make sure the counter won't come out as fast as Nefarious will try to make it come out.
Oh!
No, and Buddy almost getting the opportunity to actually pinch that off of the ground there. Another clear. 2 minutes into this overtime, we are no closer to finding a victor. Control switching back and forth wildly between both teams, as this is about as even as a game could possibly get. There's the shot, and the save from Garen. He was just inches away from getting bumped out of the way there.
Garen had to try to make that happen. As Sathy goes for the shot, it bounces high.
Backboard hit. The follow-up is stopped. Great touch from Garen, but Brett is not done yet. Ball's in the corner. Infield pass intercepted by AXP. They do retreat for the time being. Garen trying to push that forward. Bell jumping over Sathio and AXP to play that off into the corner from the goal line. Half a full game has been played in overtime, and there's the opportunity for Garen. Can't find the net. Gets deflected back into the corner. Back pass forced out on Nefarious here, but Sipical is going to follow that up with all of his might. Gets the shot off. The save against the goalpost. AXP with a follow-up. Bounces off of the backboard, and Sathia to finally put it away. It took all 3 players from Bread. It took them 3 minutes, but here we go. Game 1 goes to Bread.
And AXP just rushing towards that ball, gets it off of the backboard, and it worked out well because Sathia was following up, and it looked like he wanted to go for that shot. He had a decent place to put it. You just couldn't quite find that angle and flip into it just right. Sathu, luckily for Brad, was right there waiting for it. Sipical was backing him up at the same time. And honestly, that was one of the most even games that I have ever casted. Not that I've ever seen, but definitely ever casted. Honestly, like I said, this could go either way. And Nefarious made a couple of mistakes, and they made a lot of risky saves. Bread were definitely pushing the envelope there. It just couldn't quite convert all of those into decent shots. We saw some bumps, we saw some aggression from Bread, and Nefarious didn't quite match that aggression. I don't think that's what held them back. I think Nefarious were just a little bit timid in a lot of their plays. Not all the time, but just in certain instances. They weren't quite sure what to do next. They tried to just get control. And because Bread was challenging so much, he challenged everything, they just kind of got stomped into their own side.
Well, I'd say that both teams looked relatively timid in the early stages of the game. It's just that Bread was able to get into it earlier than Nefarious was, and then forced Nefarious to step up by scoring that initial leading goal. And what followed was just neck and neck action. It was messy. It was all over the place. There were shots that definitely should have hit the target, but didn't. Both teams just really pushing out of their comfort zone. And that overtime, really to top it all off. I mean, we watched 5 minutes of pretty much friendly neighborhood tennis between both teams. None of them really pushing, none of them really showing aggression. 2 or 3 minutes passing without a single shot being fired. And then in overtime, it is a firework of shots, a firework of saves, a firework of misses, firework of bumps, just a firework all throughout. And if this is what the series is going to turn into right now, if we're going to start off with the fireworks this time around and go upwards from there, then this can only get better as a series. Sipical starting the game off immediately, trying to go for the double tap. Angled shot coming in from Sathio, the save coming out from Garen. This is already starting off a lot faster than game 1. And a shot actually coming through from Bell in the corner.
You know, Bell, that was actually a miss there. And the way it bounced, it kind of threw Brett off their game. I think they were expecting a touch from Bell, and so they had to readjust. Bell was able to recognize what was going on a little bit quicker, able to just throw a shot at the net, and it does go in only 20 seconds in, and Nefarious are on the board. Brett are starting to put the pedal to the metal, though.
Yeah, I can't blame Brett for not expecting that, because I certainly didn't expect that either, and I have the bird's eye view, so... Yikes.
Oh.
The lead does go to Nefarious early on. Buddy with a save, looking to follow that up, is completely out of boost. Fakes out one, can't fake out the second one. He came head on towards that ball. AXP with a whiff on his own half, forcing Saf to come out of the net. Immediately tags out for Sipical, though. Ball comes off of the ceiling. Bell trying to switch around the play to the other half, but no one's actually there. Buddy trying to contest that in the midfield, but Sathio versus Bell now. Good play from Bell. But AXP with a whiff mid-air. Needs the ball for Sathio. AXP now on the backboard, gets bumped away before he can make the pass to Sathio, who was waiting in midfield for it. Sathio's still deep inside the orange half, looking to play disruption.
Oh, what a
Great
block.
save from Buddy. Those saves just keep coming out from him. But relentless pressure means that Brett will still get the ball past the net.
And you
Past the
mentioned
line.
Sathio deep into the offensive territory. He was just bumping Buddy around, and Buddy just could never get himself set. He couldn't find himself in a decent defensive position. He made a great save there, but nobody could back him up, and the Nefarious was still trying to recover as AXP sneaks one past Bell. Oh, the savagery off a kickoff.
Yep. Kickoff goal. I think that's the second one this night. I really haven't seen many of them. But, yeah. I mean, it's always... there's so many players that say you always should keep someone back in net for the kickoff. And then there's others that say, well, you know, it happens so rarely that a kickoff goes wrong in threes that you can take the risk. But I'm pretty sure that right now, Nefarious are wishing they had left someone in net for that.
Well, I mean, they had a player back, and he didn't quite rotate up. Sipical takes a shot here. AXP is up, though. Double tap.
Oh, double tap indeed. Just a little too tight on the angle. Comes off the backboard or it crosses the line. Oh, what a shot coming in from Buddy. Off of the ceiling, Ram comes down perfectly in front of the net, and he follows it up perfectly as well.
Yeah, and Buddy just showing that one's mechanical skill. We've seen him do that before. Shots along those lines. Just complete confidence in himself. He was supersonic making that shot.
Crazy speed on that play. 2 minutes in, we're tied at 2. Deuce is wild on Champions Field. Comes off of the side wall. Bell to play that into the right-hand blue half corner. Buddy in the midfield blocking it, setting something up for Garen here. Pushes it forward. Buddy trying to go for the follow-up, but AXP cuts it off for him. And Bell trying to keep that play alive. Comes off of the ceiling. There comes Sathio trying to push that one forward. Garen off of the backboard into the midfield where Bell slightly misjudges that ball and lets it pass through to the Bread defense. We're now back passing the ball among each other, trying to find an angle to attack. The push forward finally comes out from Sathio. Nefarious was struggling to keep that ball away, and that actually does manage to find the net there.
So Bell was just looking for... Oh, yeah, he got bumped there by Sipical. Sipical, that was so savage. Bell had no idea that Sipical was going to just go for it. Clearly wasn't watching his back. That was brutal. Sipical. You don't need a demo on a lot of these plays. Just a good bump will send it out as Buddy clears it away this time.
Clears it away. Ball's in the corner still, though. AXP flipping past the ball off of the backboard. Buddy to push it forward. Sipical goes high. Buddy in the corner, trying to infield that to Garen, but Seth is waiting for it. Garen to push it forward. AXP in the net. Plays that off to the other side of the field. And Sathio and Garen clashing for that ball. This one's going to be on target, and AXP saves it. As Nefarious are looking for the equalizer yet again. It's always been Bread who have made the first move. Buddy off of the backboard. No boost to go on. Infield path onto Sathi. Well placed, but the shot just a tiny bit off. Good touch from Buddy, but Sipical will get in between it. That bounces off of the sidewall ram. Buddy finally gets it clear. Liberation strike, allowing Nefarious to set up for another play, but AXB will strip that straight back. And Bell plays it off into the corner, opens up the lane. Great save from Garen using the goalpost to bounce it off outfield. Ball is high. Buddy will get a shot here. Does he get the double tap? No, he will not. Ball bounces back at an inopportune angle. 45 seconds remaining.
It looked like Bell was looking for a pass there off of that touch there from Buddy. And it would have been a good idea because Garen was coming up the center. There could have been a shot that came out. It just couldn't quite get it done. The Bread defense just standing strong at this point.
Pass on to Garen. Puts extra distance on it towards that side wall. Clear coming out. AXB is taken out of the play, but it won't quite matter, or will it? Buddy does get a shot off. Sipical off of the backboard. Gets a second touch as well just to make it fly out as far as he can. And there's the final 10 seconds. Nefarious have the ball exactly where they want it to be. But there is the clear. And Bread winning some ground. Buddy with the final opportunity gets stopped in the midfield. And this ball is going to touch the ground. Bread take game number 2 as well. It was yet another close affair, but this time around, Bread looked stronger. Actually did look stronger. Whether it was completely even in game number 1, Bread is starting to break through the wave.
I would have to agree with that completely. And it does kind of seem like Nefarious is trying to beat Bread at their own game, their own passing game. Nefarious had such a weird series before this that I think they're kind of readjusting to their play style. And it just seems like Bread are able to either be right there or beat them to most balls. And it's not working for them. Nefarious need to change some things up. There's a lot of ways they can go with this. But I think really more than anything, they need to try to find some open field, get themselves set up, and just win those challenges. Get some better 50-50s going, and maybe force the issue. Force Bread to make some weird pass plays, because Bread are constantly looking for pass plays no matter what. They're not making direct shots per se. And Nefarious needs to draw out some defenders, get Bread out into the midfield while the ball is on their side, and they might start seeing a little bit more, at least shots on the board. But those shots definitely need to start going in, because we saw plenty. Just a matter of actually converting that as pinball into the net.
Yeesh. Yeesh. Kickoff goal coming out from Bread very early on. Nicely played by Sipical to wrap that all the way around the corner and set it up with AXB, who ultimately also got credit for the goal.
I was trying to figure out what Buddy was doing there. He was on the goal line. He just kind of came out. I think he got a little bit confused on where the ball was going to end up going there. Much like
certainly a very fast play, and probably caught him with his pants down a little bit.
Whoa.
But nonetheless, 20 seconds in, and the lead is already on the side of Bread. Follow-up immediately coming out from Garen, saved by AXB. Buddy will get the follow-up shot and put it away into the long corner.
Oh, this mechanical prowess here by Buddy. A little 270 flip to make you feel better on that shot. He had to work for it, but man, did he time it well. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a bit of a beauty, wasn't it? We're all tied up.
It's coming from me, the 900 King. What?
Oh, Sipical! Crossbar goalpost out. Not the luckiest of shots for him. But Brett's still going strong. Save coming out from Bell. Follow-up from AXB is taken away from him by Garen, but Sathu keeps it in play. Back pass out to Sipical. Sathu tunnels the ball underneath the final defender, and Bread are back in the lead.
All right, Sathu to AXB, over to Sipical. Not a great touch. Sathu completely cuts rotation and knocks it right in. That's just great awareness as to what the ball was doing at all times. I mean, Sathu had very little time to react to that, and it looks like he just reacted on instinct. As Sipical goes for it, blocked out by Garen, and Buddy clears it.
Well, XP may get a follow-up here. Immediately launches it as well. Looking for the pass, actually, but Bell intercepted that one. And see Seth, you try to go for a shot. That gets intercepted as well. There's Nefarious on heavy defensive duty right now. Bell trying to push it through the midfield, trying to send it down Main Street. Ultimately does hand the ball off to Brett yet again, though, as typical. Precise forward play from Brett right now. They're pushing the ball forward with a purpose, and it really shows. Every single one of their touches goes towards building up a play. Nefarious really just kind of caught between defense and offense, forced to rotate very quickly as Brett is not giving him an inch to breathe.
Not at all. And Brett are even comfortable on their goal line.
Oh,
As a
good
shot
shot
comes out.
The pass from Bell was perfectly pinpoint as well.
It's exactly what it was. I mean, the clear wasn't great. Sathu couldn't quite time that right. He was trying to just speed towards the ball. I think Sathu thought that that ball was going to travel a lot further than it did. And luckily there for Nefarious, they were able to time that one through. A nice little quick shot in.
Just one gap is all that it needed.
That's right.
Nefarious are back in the game, back to even. 2 minutes played so far.
That's towards the net.
XP does get the save. Follow up from Buddy. Bounces off of the backboard. Bell gets the follow up. Gets the dunk pass. Typical as well. And Nefarious take the lead.
Oh, can I get some pog champs in the chat here? Buddy just centering, knowing that someone was there. And Bell on the follow-up. Didn't give up on the shot. Found himself above the ball. Nefarious have the lead.
They certainly do.
It's a slim one, but it's there.
What a quick turnaround. But typical. Pass from Sathu. Immediately back to even. This is a game, folks.
And Sipical right here just bringing out his howdy partner. And this right here is one heck of a shootout we got here.
That was a crazy pass. Well, near halftime, 3 goals apiece on the board right now. Garen versus Sathu manages to tunnel it beneath him, but ultimately doesn't manage to actually put a shot on target. Tries to bring it down in front of the net. AXB trying to send it past the midfield line. It comes off of the ceiling. There's the shot coming in from Garen. AXB to trail that off towards that side wall. But he cannot win against Sipical. Clear does come out. Sathu trying to follow that up. Bounces the ball on his hood. Comes off of the backboard. Here comes Sipical with the angled shot. And Buddy will get the save. Heavy aggression coming out from Red right now. Garen with the opportunity to break through. Tries to juggle the ball, but ultimately Sipical takes it off of him. Rebounds off of the corner. A little bit of slow down play in that orange half. Ball comes off of the ceiling. No man's land right now. Sathu going up for that one. Bounces it off of the backboard. Excuse me, Sipical going for that one.
Tense.
Rotation. Yeah, definitely. Rotation back from Brett is very, very quick.
It's just so tense on both sides of the pitch. Nobody wanting to make a mistake here this late in the game. And honestly, I don't blame them at all. But the play has slowed down quite a bit. Oh, we might see a pass here.
Oh, crossbar hit by Sipical, trying to go for the angle there. Garen gets blown up. But Bell trying to use the opportunity to carry the ball away to give Garen some time to respawn. Comes off the backboard. Flies back outfield. Garen to put extra distance on it. A wide clear will buy Nefarious some time to breathe. Back into the corner. Seth trying to build up yet another play. Buddy very aggressively pushing inwards. And Nefarious are mounting up on offense here right now. Pop up into the air in 1 minute is remaining on the clock. We're still tied up and we might go to another overtime. But with how fast this game has been, everything can happen.
AXB
in a very
did not
short amount of
get
time.
bashed for that mistake there as he goes for a shot.
Ooh. Good save from Garen. But they haven't quite weathered the storm yet. Another shot coming out. Bell is the one to save this one. Yet another one, this time from Sathu. Cleared yet again by Bell as XP wins that aerial contest. Sends it to the orange half of the field. Garen with a good clear. Lots of space won on that play. Comes off of the corner. Bell as Sathu trying to keep Buddy out of that play. Does a good job at it. Ball control falls back to Brett. 14 seconds remaining, and this might be a goal-scoring opportunity. Comes off of the backboard. Good save by Buddy. The follow-up from Sipical is blocked by Bell. But Brett's still not done quite yet. Yet another pass onto Sipical. And Garen clears it off of the backboard.
XP.
Infield pass. Sathu onto the ground. We are into overtime in game number 3. Last one ended it with a victory for Bread. Can Nefarious get their first point of the series, or will they be taken to match point in game number 4?
They can. It's just a matter of execution, though. We're starting to see a little bit of shakiness here from Bread, but that pass play might do it.
Oh boy!
Oh, no!
AXP managing to sneak it past the goalies. Everyone from Nefarious was inside the net. But he manages to thread the needle between 2 defenders and get the ball past the line. Red are now on match point against Nefarious.
I mean, Garen has to be kicking himself after that one. He was trying to rotate in, and when the ball just kind of died out at the goal line, he was trying to just get something on it. He just found himself on the wrong side, couldn't get the touch he was looking for. It's unfortunate, and sometimes you're just not going to win those. You have to brush that off and move aside. But Nefarious have the long road ahead of them now. They have to win 4 in a row to take home the $1,000.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a tall order. That is definitely going to be a tall order. These games have been way too close.
I have to agree with you completely, honestly. I mean, Bread, it seems like they're firing on all cylinders. There's a couple of mistakes, a couple of misses here and there, but nothing that has been punished for them yet. It doesn't mean that they can relax, though. If anything, they need to double down and just make sure they clean that up.
This is definitely the start of a huge journey for Nefarious. 4 games in a row against a Bread squad that has been nothing if not consistent. The game's starting off relatively slowly. AXP trying it through the side, trying to get an angled shot off. Sathu has his follow-up taken from him by Buddy. Goes past to the blue side of the field. Snatched off of the side wall.
What?
Good pass, but the save from AXB as Bell was blown up on the goal line by Sipical. Garen trying to keep the play alive to the best of his ability. There's another shot coming in, and Sipical will be able to save that one as well. Bread with a huge defense to close off the first minute of the game.
Yeah, Bread were definitely clenching on that play. That was close. There was a few shots there that could have snuck their way past, but they held their ground nicely. Now they find themselves on offense, and we know they can convert here. It's just a matter of time.
Off of the backboard, AXB pass on to Sathu. Intercepted by Garen. Buddy and Bell both going up for it. Bell immediately stopping his aerial to prevent a double commit, but the damage had already been done. He had to recover after the landing, and Sipical has a pretty open net to score on. Bread take the lead.
And Sathu right there just hassling Buddy. Buddy's so good on defense. He was just trying to keep him busy more than anything else. When the ball got away from him, Buddy was nowhere to be found. And both Bell and Garen were stuck on the goal line. Couldn't do much of anything when it came to defense. And now Bread find themselves in the lead, although Bell going for the shot here. Popping it up. Buddy down.
Another one from Buddy. And AXB will get the save. Bell trying to keep the play alive, but the long clear completely stops that play dead in its tracks. Nefarious is going to have to rebuild.
Still got
Onto
time.
the side wall. Bell onto AXB. Buddy with the clear, and Bell is waiting in the midfield. Play that off into the left-hand corner. And Garen to try and follow that up, but Sipical just keeps the ball within arm's reach of him and carries it all the way out. Using the corner of the pass onto Sathu, that one is intercepted. Rolls up the side wall where Sathu was waiting, trying to defend against Buddy, trying to get the double tap, but AXB cuts off his angle. And Bell will not be able to complete the infield pass here, and that ball is in a dangerous spot. Sipical 1v1 situation, tries to go for the pass.
Oh, what a bump!
As Sathu followed that up as well. The bump makes sure that that goal will not find its conclusion. We're at halftime. Bread still leading by 1, but that might be all that it needs. Another shot coming in. Wide on the angle. Nefarious under so much pressure. They haven't been able to get many plays going. The ones that they did were perfectly defended by Bread.
But Nefarious, though, just holding strong right there. We saw some aggression, saw a few bumps happening, And we saw the way that they were rotating around themselves. They were making sure that somebody was covering them at some point, whether it be from above or below. It didn't matter. They were there. Now Bell with a good block.
It's high up in the air. Typical. Infield pass to no one. The clear immediately comes out from Nefarious. Minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. Time is slowly but surely running out for Nefarious here, who have yet to get themselves on the board. Buddy with the chance there. That goal is empty unless Satya can get it. He can, but the follow-up from Garen will not be defended. No chance to be defended either. And there's the equalizer that Nefarious have been looking so long for.
And Buddy just kind of moving the ball towards the net, forcing Satya to make some sort of touch. Satya didn't get the touch he wanted. That needed to go much farther or into a corner. Satya had to panic jump to get to that one as he tries to sneak one through here. And honestly, good just heads up there by Nefarious to make the goal happen, especially as time is starting to dwindle down. Now it's an open net.
Oh, Buddy misflips. He was out of boost. He was just shy of actually getting to the ball. Oh, man, so unfortunate right there. I'm not sure if there's anything that he could have done.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Sipical was right there. So, I mean, credit to him. But now Sipical, speaking of which, going for the double.
Doesn't get it. Leaves the ball for Sathu. Cleared off of the backboard. There's another follow-up shot. Hits the crossbar. Sathu trying to get another one on target. Bell and Garen stumbling over each other to defend that one. But the attack from Brett is still going strong. Finally, a liberation strike coming out from Nefarious. But Brett serves it straight back. So much pressure. We might be on track for a third overtime in 4 games. Will we see it? 30 seconds remaining on the clock. AXB to put that off of the side wall. Typical going to try to use the corner to get the rebound. Infield pass. AXB coming in from behind. A little too late. Ball was already past its prime. Final 10 seconds. Sathu up for it. Comes down and through the net. The opportunity. Garen blocks the shot. Trying to tick the clock down here. Nefarious will have to let this go to overtime. And there it is. 1 goal for Bread to decide the entire tournament, to get the 4-0 sweep. Nefarious are fighting for their tournament lives here. Tooth and nail.
And the fans of Bread breaking out the brooms right now, but the Nefarious squad want to prove them wrong. They want this one to go to the next and keep themselves alive. And the thing is that we're not seeing a lot of the aggression that we've been seeing from Nefarious. Although XP, oh God, well, that would have been an angle.
Dangerous stuff. Good shot. Bell will be able to save it, and Garen wisely making sure to cut off any angles that ball might have had towards the net. But Brett are still not done. AXB off of the backboard, trying to go for the double tap here. Oh, slightly missed shot. Right on the angle. Garen to carry that over Sathu in the corner, but AXB taking initiative. Sathu with the infield pass. Good touch from Garen to send that far out, but we haven't seen any attack from Nefarious in this overtime just yet. It has been all Brett, and Nefarious are on their hind legs pushed against the wall right now, as Brett are not giving them an inch of space.
Oh, they bumped into each other. Oh, that was close. But yeah, no, you're right. Brett are not giving anything at all. No quarter given.
Good. Doesn't actually connect to the shot, though. And this is the opportunity that Nefarious have been waiting for. Buddy has more than enough boost to make this into a play. Gets it all the way in front. Oh, good touch from Sipical. And AXB is going to try to follow that up. Onto Buddy. Sipical gets it towards the net. And there it is. Bread with a 4-0 sweep, but it took them 3 overtimes to do it. Every game won with a margin of 1 goal. This is one of those series where you see a 4-0 on the board, but you can't help but wonder, that could have gone either way. I do still think that Brett would have taken it any day of the week, but 4-0, that seems a little harsh for Nefarious, who really brought their A game here tonight. Unfortunately, the freshly baked RLCS team was just too strong for them.
And right there on that last play there, you saw, I believe it was Garen who actually front flipped that ball out of the way. There was a teammate coming for him. I believe it was Bell. And that would have been the clear they needed. It would have been straightforward. There was a little bit of panic in the play, and you could tell Nefarious were uncomfortable. Really most of the series, actually. but this is what they needed, I think, to really push themselves in a little bit farther in the Renegade Cups that they've been participating in. And honestly, this usually you say losing is bad, et cetera, but I think this is good for him. This was a growing moment for him. We saw flashes of brilliance in both series that we casted tonight with Nefarious in it. And they need to save these replays, honestly, because there was a lot to learn. I wish I could go through. I could probably learn a few things, honestly, just from those replays. And a lot of times it really kind of seemed like there was nothing going on. But it was all positioning. They were both teams were trying to get a pass play going. Both teams were trying to keep the ball away from each other. It's just that they were challenging the ball almost at all times. It's just that Bread can get that more consistent touch and actually send that out to the offensive side. Once they're there, once Bread is on the offense, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Extremely dangerous.
They certainly are. They've shown that. Not an inch to breathe, especially in that final game. Nefarious still came so close, taking it to overtime 3 times. But ultimately, it's Bread. $1,500 to close out the competitive year of 2018 for Rocket League. Thank you very, very much for watching. This has been it for Astronauts for this year. But, of course, I'm happy to announce that we'll be back in January. You won't have to wait long at all. And if you feel lucky, then do click that Twitter link below the stream. Head on over to our Twitter page and look at the pinned tweet for the Beyond Holiday giveaway. Astro A40 plus Mixamp, Astro A40 TR Mod Kit, Logitech G703 Lightspeed Wireless Gaming Mouse, Pro Mechanical Gaming Keyboard, and PowerPlay Wireless Charging System. All of that could be yours if you are lucky enough. It's our December giveaway to close out the year. If you're looking for some presents to put underneath that tree, this is your opportunity. Click the Twitter link, follow us on Twitter, and check the information in the pinned tweet if you want to take part in that. And of course, that tournament's link. I've mentioned it. We'll be back in January. We won't have to wait long at all for more Astronauts action in 2019. If you want to try your hand at beating some of the toughest players that North America has to offer, then do sign up. It's absolutely free, but as you have seen, you're going to have to beat some tough competition to actually get there. There is money in it. And of course, the most valuable currency of all, experience, competitive experience. So do sign up for that. As for us, this has been it. My name's The Patch. I'm on Twitter at It's The Patch. And casting alongside me has been Ninja Rider. He's on Twitter at Ninja Rider RL. And of course, at Team Beyond Net. Do follow all of these accounts. Apart from that, any closing words?
Honestly, it's been a heck of a tournament. We saw some names that we haven't seen in a little while and some new, fresh faces. It's been fantastic. And I think a lot of us have learned a little bit about Bread and how they're taking this practice so seriously. They definitely want to go far in RLCS, and look out for them. Next season is going to be nuts.
I am excited to see more Bread, especially in the RLCS. They have definitely deserved their spot, and they show that time and time again. Well then, thank you very much for watching. I wish everyone happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. And we will see you next year when Beyond Astronauts Rocket League tournaments kick off yet again in January. Don't miss it. It's been a fun year. I'd like to thank everyone who has been consistently tuning in. I'd like to thank everyone behind the scenes as well, especially Jared, aka Automaton, or Automaton. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. He's been doing a fantastic job at running the stream behind the scenes, so props to him. And of course, all the Beyond admins who have been making sure that these tournaments run as smoothly as they possibly can. And big thanks also out to all the players who keep showing up in more ways than one, not only showing up to the tournament, but also showing up on the pitch and playing their absolute best. These tournaments happen an absolute pleasure to watch and cast for everyone, and I'm looking forward to a 2019 that's going to be absolutely exciting. So, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the pitch. Get those rocket passes maxed out, and we'll see you next year. Happy holidays.